Check this out. This is actually the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2, and this is the first watch that I'll be doing the unboxing and also giving my first impressions on this channel. And I actually paired it up with my Galaxy Z Fold 8. Now, last year's iteration, a lot of people mentioned how the battery life really wasn't good on the last one, but Samsung claims to have improved it on this one. So we'll go ahead and check out, again, just get a feel for the phone. Again, just a caveat also, this only works on Android phones and even better on Samsung phones, but it doesn't work on iPhone. So that's just a heads up. So again, this is a growing channel, so it does help when you do subscribe. So if you do like this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. Now, let's get into it. All right, so this is out the box. As you can see, Samsung's watch packaging is compact, clean. So let me just go ahead and open this up here. And the first thing in the box is the watch. And so, okay, so it's not attached. So you have the watch. Let me see if the band is included. It should be included. All right, so you have the paperwork and yep, just a standard watch band. So you have the watch band and okay, so here's where we should have the charging puck. And of course the paperwork, that's standard. Let me check to see below. Yeah, so the cable with the charging puck to charge the phone, or not the phone, to charge the. So here you have your cable and the charging puck for the watch. And put that to the side for now. All right, I'll go ahead and connect this. So again, this feels, and it has a little bit of weight to it, but it's not too heavy. Let me go ahead and connect this. And actually, let me see how hard it is to connect. Usually, I like it when it's much more simple to connect so that it's not too hard. All right, I finally figured it out. It's actually really simple. All I had to do was push it in. So this is the bottom piece. So I just had to push it in. And then you'll hear it click into place. So it just clicked into place. And the top piece, same thing as well. So it's really simple. I like that. Yeah, then it just clicks in place. And of course, to take it out, then you just click these buttons for the bottom and top piece to remove the watch band. But this feels pretty nice. And I got the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 and I got it in titanium gray. And actually, it fits pretty well. Let me put it in my hands here. So yeah, this is very nice. So it fits in my hands pretty nicely. And I like the watch band. I like this form factor. I do prefer the rotating bezels with, they don't have the rotating bezels anymore, which I do miss. And I do prefer the circular shape. I know for like functionality wise, some of the square it's easier to scroll through messages and do the different functions, but I do miss the circular size. But this is nice, I like it. Let me go ahead and turn this on now, and then we can go ahead and get started. And then I'm going to pair it up with my Z Fold 8. So I'll go ahead and turn this on. All right, so now we're back from setting up the watch, at least the initial setup. And again, I just put it on my wrist here to see how it feels. Again, this feels super comfortable, light. And even though this thing is ultra, they did go ahead and refine it from how it was last year. But even though they slimmed it down, the titanium case down a little bit, and switched it to more like a squircle is what I would call it shape. It still is an ultra and you can actually feel it, but it feels comfortable. It's not heavy on the hands, which is pretty good. And let me take this off a little bit. One of the things, again, we mentioned earlier was the battery life, and they seem to have improved it with the battery life because last year's was at 590 milliamp battery, and this one they've increased it to 800 milliamp hours. So Samsung says it nearly doubles the endurance and paints it with a whole new efficient chip, which helps with that long-lasting battery. And again, when you have something that's, the claim is this is supposed to be a rugged phone, mainly for people that are outdoors, where you're hiking, you're camping, diving. So this is something where you potentially won't have a charger for a day or two. So it needs to be able to last. So if the battery matches what Samsung is claiming, then this will fix all the issues that they had with the first iteration. Now, let me go through the settings and we'll go ahead and check out the settings and look at the setup, and then we'll get into like some of the features. One of the first things to notice too is with the brightness. So if you go, this is the toggles, and some of the setup here that I have is, let me look at the display first. All right, so swipe down to get to the toggles, and with the brightness, and look how bright this can get. Can you imagine again if you're going outdoors? So let's just get out of that. So this is super bright. So again, when you're outdoors and you're hitting direct sunlight, or the sunlight is hitting it directly, you won't have to necessarily have to cover it to be able to see, because it's really bright. And that's one of the things too they increase with the display, is that this is a 1.52 inches display already, so there's a lot of real estate. But with that, they increase it to 5,000 nits peak brightness, and this was from 3,000, which was the one from last year, which had only 3,000 nits brightness. So that's another jump right there when it comes to this watch. Let me dim it down a little bit because I'm indoors, but this is really bright. And another place you can also do the there's the wearables app, and this is where I mainly do the setup on the phone because it's a little bit more efficient. And if you look at the sound vibration, this is pretty standard. I have mine always set to vibrate, and then you have the ringtone, and then some important things, notifications. Usually I have it to set matching my phone, and then only certain apps, when you go in here, is where you set and pick which apps you would want the notifications to pop up on your watch. But I don't usually set it up for everything because I don't want my phone blasting me with all types of notifications. So it's only certain apps I have the notifications turned on for. So yeah, and then display, we already went over the display. Also, of course, adaptive brightness, always on display. I have that on. And buttons and gestures. Now you have your action button, which is pretty nice. And right now it's set to the Samsung Health. But this can always be switched. Right now I'll leave it to Samsung Health, but you can set it to stopwatch, flashlight, your camera controller. So that's pretty nice. And then you can double press it to go to Recents app. So this was my Recents app, and then press it once to go back home. And then of course the action button now is set to Exercises and Health app. And if you long press it, that's another thing, is you have your Gemini on. What's the weather like today?
In Monticello, it's 94 and mostly cloudy. Today, it'll be mostly cloudy with a high of 95 and a low of 76.
Yeah, so with this new chip, it works pretty fast with your Gemini. And let's see what else. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this. So yeah, Race to Talk, and then your Health app. So actually, let me go to the phone now and go to my settings, notifications, display, battery, buttons and gestures. We just did that, and the Health app with the thing. So this is a powerful watch. All right, so this is pretty much set up. And again, if you want to go to your Recents app, or not Recents, the app ones, the apps here is where this is set up. And then if you swipe to the left, of course, you have no notifications. One thing I don't like with the watches is having to scroll from left for notifications. I wish it was more of a scroll down for notifications. All right, and then this is my watch face. I have it set to with the weather, sunset, and then I have a couple of watch faces from the App Store. They do have standard ones on the wearables. Let me look at some of them. So here, yeah, these are the standard watch faces. And there are a couple that you can buy from the App Store. I always get the ones from the App Store. This one I just made. So yeah, these are some of the ones that I downloaded, and this is where they're at. But I'll apply them later. Now, what makes this phone stand out is the ruggedness, right? They call it Ultra, and the reason that is that this is supposed to be different from a regular watch, so this is for those who are outdoors. If you're doing outdoor activities, you're doing heavy duty type of work, this is one where, because of the durability, And this screen right here is supposed to be a sapphire crystal, right, with the titanium build. So this is supposed to be scratch resistant. And also they claim it to be IP69K dust and water resistance, and that's up from last year's rating of IP68. So this is supposed to be really good, especially with the dust resistant. And they claim also that they've included a diving feature to this. So anyone who dives, I've dived before, but only 30 feet. I'm not an expert diver. But this one, as soon as if you get into the water, you dive, it's supposed to automatically start tracking depth, dive time, and water temperature. And Samsung said they partnered with Mary's, a real diving brand, to get these advanced features. But the caveat is you have to download the app to do that. But at least with the watch, it's supposed to have that capability. Another thing with this is trailing and cycling. So now I do a little bit more of the trailing and hiking. So if you open up exercises, of course, walking, you can track your steps. So if you start walking, distance, steps, which is pretty dope, average speed, elevation, but these could always do that. The new feature is more so with the cycling. Let me go back to see if I can pull up the cycling. All right, so trail run. So where now it calculates the distance and pace, but one of the new features claiming to be able to now track the elevation, the gain, calories, elevation, lap distance. So this is pretty nice. And it works pretty quickly. Like I'm going through the apps and this is moving quick, and it's because of the new chip. Like there's no lag at all. And then the health app also, they overhauled it completely. So if you go to side, these are your tiles, and that's another thing too, setting up the tiles. I usually like to do that from the wearables app. So here, of course, your notification panel, we went through that already. Quick panel, these are your toggles where when you scroll down, this is where you can adjust it as well from the wearables app. And then the tiles. So here it's set up with the health app, fitness. So when you, this is where you can, and then weather, there's nothing else. And then you can add more tiles, and these are some of the options of which you can add. Right now, I only have it set up again, like the health, fitness, and basics. But health is where they overhauled it, where it looks how the entire thing works. And one of the key features they added was like vitals, was one of the things that they mentioned that overnight, if you, let me see if I click on vitals. So it says, you know, wear your Galaxy Watch while you sleep. And supposedly when you go to sleep, it's supposed to track your heart rate, the heart rate variability, breathing rate, skin temperature, and blood oxygen against your personal baseline, and it only alerts you when something looks off. So that's smarter than the usually pile of numbers that you usually ignore, and this is supposed to be paired up with like the AI as well. So it'll flag you if something is off. So if you're trying to keep track of your health, this is something that's just pretty good. And there's also like newer advanced tracking with antioxidant index, blood. Let me go back. Yeah, heart rate, blood pressure. And let me go into. So I mean, this is a pretty dope watch, but who is this really for? Again, if you really, this costs $699, $700 plus when you include tax. So if you're not someone really into diving, or you're not into the outdoors where you're really hiking and camping on a daily or on a weekly, on a consistent basis, and if you're only doing this once a year, I don't know if it would be worth it to spend $699 on a watch like this. You can basically just get the Galaxy Watch 9, which has the exact same new chip, does all the same everyday stuff, but it costs a lot less. So for most normal people, honestly, the Watch 9 is probably the smartest buy, in my opinion. Now, if you're actually outdoors where you hike, you run trails, you cycle, you dive, and then you camp, and you want a battery that lasts multiple days, so you're not changing like mid-adventure, it's dying on you, then this would be perfect, especially with the durability, the battery. This is a really nice phone. I think it would be good to invest in it. It all depends on the person and your daily habits, really. So my first impression on this is the phone is really nice. Based on my first impressions, the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 is the best watch on the Galaxy lineup for sure. The battery jump alone it's pretty good with the brightness, with the 5000 nit screen. Brightness is really nice outdoors. And the build with the titanium is tough and durable. So this is one of their best watches. But again, if you're not heavy into the outdoors, the Galaxy Watch 9 I think would work perfectly. So let me know if any one of you do get this watch. Let me know what your experience has been with it, and anyone else, let me know if you would actually get this instead of the Galaxy Watch 9. If you're not an outdoors person, and why would you get this one? All right, I'll go ahead and test this out some more, and probably if I do find anything that changes my mind or any new things that I wasn't aware of, I'll probably make another video, so be on the lookout for that. And again, if you like this type of content, please subscribe and like, so that I can grow, so that this channel can grow, since it is a small channel. All right, I'm Slim Hoodie. Peace.